Jaxson Dart, the 6'2", 220-pound senior quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels, has captivated college football fans with his unique skill set and talent. Could 2024 be the year that Dart wins the Heisman Trophy? Stick around and find out. This is QB Unfiltered, my take. In today's show, we discuss Jaxson Dart's exceptional skill set and statistical lines that make him one of the front runners for the 2024 Heisman Trophy. In the fiercely competitive race for the Heisman Trophy this year, Dart faces a lot of challenges and a lot of challengers. The challenges come from playing in the highly competitive SEC conference. And so Dart is going to be going up against great defensive coordinators each and every week. But more importantly than that, he's going to be playing against the best, some of the best defensive talent, fastest defensive talent in the country on a week-to-week basis. Add to that the challenge of Jaxson Dart being every defense's number one focus point. He's the guy that makes the Rebels go. He will get everybody's attention. Every defensive coordinator and every defense that plays Ole Miss this year is going to be designed to take Jaxson Dart out of the game. Challenger-wise, there is a ton of competition for that Heisman Trophy this year. You could very easily see a finalist room in New York City in December made up of all quarterbacks. And so he's going to be challenged by conference quarterback Carson Beck from the University of Georgia, Cam Ward from the University of Miami, Shedeur Sanders from the University of Colorado, Quinn Ewers from the University of Texas. Those are just a few names that Jaxson Dart is going to be competing with this year to get in the room for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. What sets Dart apart from the rest of the competition is his unique playing ability, his unique skill set, and the system or the offensive scheme that he plays in at Ole Miss. Dart has the combination of arm talent. He's a great runner when he pulls the ball down and goes, or runs a QB run, which Ole Miss does quite a lot. He is big and strong. He can take a pounding. In fact, when he runs the ball, Dart's not a guy that likes to slide too much. And so there's a lot of clips where at the end of the play, you've got DBs that are coming up to try to make the tackle at the end of runs. And instead of getting down to protect himself, he's already got the first down. He's already got positive yardage. That's not what Dart does. He lowers the shoulder and he lays the wood to some of these DBs. So he's tough and he's a physical guy. He stands in the pocket and delivers the ball and takes a hit, which is part of a quarterback's job. There are a lot of quarterbacks at the D1 level that when they know they're going to get hit, they have a tendency to pull off on the throw or not throw the ball at all or wildly throw it, trying to protect themselves. Dart stands in there and delivers the football and then takes the hit, whether it's coming at him high. Unfortunately, at times, he's taken shots below the waist. He's getting hit from the side. But he knows that that's part of his job is to deliver the football accurately to his receivers and then protect himself as best he can because he's going to get hit. The combination of arm talent, pocket management, accuracy, running ability, physical toughness, and supreme confidence and swagger make Jaxson Dart a playmaking machine. Dart has been putting up numbers and making plays since he was a freshman in 2021 playing for the USC Trojans. Before we talk about Jaxson Dart's college career, let's real briefly talk about the comic book numbers he put up his senior year playing for Corner Canyon in Draper, Utah. His senior season as a high school player, Jaxson Dart threw for 4,691 yards and an unbelievable 67 touchdown passes. And he also ran for 1,195 yards and 12 touchdowns. Now, think about those numbers. You've got a lot of high school quarterbacks across the country that can't put those numbers up doing it against air. Those are phenomenal statistics, okay? So that leads us to USC in 2021, and Dart was slated to be the number 2 guy that year, the backup to starter Keaton Slovis. But early in the season in a game against Washington State University, Slovis went down with an injury and Dart was inserted into the game, at which point he announced his presence with authority. As a true freshman stepping into his first college action against the Washington State Cougars, Dart did this. All Dart did was go 30 for 46 for 391 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Now, this was the first game for USC after head coach Clay Helton was fired. It also marked the beginning of the end for Jaxson Dart at USC, because after the season, Lincoln Riley was hired away from the Oklahoma Sooners to be the new head coach at USC, and he thought it would be a good idea to bring his Sooner quarterback along with him to Los Angeles, some dude by the name of Caleb Williams. And so Jaxson Dart jumped in the portal. And let's talk about a couple reasons why he ended up in Oxford, Mississippi. Let's take the NIL craziness out of the picture, and let's talk about the 2 main reasons I think he's slinging it around for Ole Miss. Number one is head coach Lane Kiffin is one slick-ass recruiter. He's one of the best in the business, and he speaks QB lingo, and it must have been a pretty easy get for him to sit down and sell Jaxson Dart on his offensive scheme and what he was going to do for him if he came to play for the Rebels. Number 2 is the scheme, okay? Lane Kiffin's scheme fits Dart's skill set like a hand in a glove. And because you've got so many quarterback runs sprinkled in with the wide open passing game, very, very attractive for Dart to decide to go to Ole Miss. So as a starter in 2022, Dart led the Rebels to an 8-5 record, and that season ended with the loss to Texas Tech in the Texas Bowl, which leads us to this past season, 2023, where the Rebels won a school record 11 games. Jaxson Dart led them to an 11-2 record. And the 11th win was against Penn State in the Peach Bowl. That game went down as a 38-25 win for Ole Miss. And it really sets the stage now for 2024 and what's going to be a really exciting year for the Ole Miss Rebels and another chance for Jaxson Dart to shine on the national scene. Okay, so this is what I like about Jaxson Dart, and this is why I think he's going to be in New York City in December for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Number one, he is a true dual threat quarterback. Okay, dual threat. He can chuck it and he can run it. And Lane Kiffin is not afraid to have him run the ball. So, you know, his skill set, as I said, fits together with Kiffin's scheme like a hand in a glove. Dart's got a lot of juice in his arm. You know, he can make all the throws, and he's accurate. Okay, one of the things that he does, which is pretty amazing to me, is he throws a really accurate ball when his feet are screwed up. Okay, we're not talking about different arm slots. We're talking about, and I'm not talking about him being pressured or being hit as he throws the ball. I'm talking about in the pocket, being able to deliver the football without being pressured. His feet are inconsistent when he throws the ball. A lot of times he'll throw it and take that back leg and swing it way in front of him and put it down so his hips are facing towards the sideline. Now, that would cause most quarterbacks to have accuracy issues because that football is going to go where your hips are pointed. But he's able to deliver a ball straight downfield with his hips ending up facing this direction and the ball's going that direction. And with quarterbacks, you know, if their mechanics aren't killing their game or causing them trouble, you don't change stuff like that. And so I'm amazed when I watch him that he can throw the ball with his feet screwed up. And that's just something he does. Okay, staying with throwing the football, we talked about the different arm slots. He can also throw it in any type of situation. So he's able to take a drop and throw it in rhythm and tempo, but he's also very accurate and effective when he throws the ball on the move, getting out of the pocket. Okay, we talked about him being big, strong, and physical. He's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid of contact in the pocket. He's not timid in the pocket. And he's especially not timid when he runs the football. You know, he really runs with an attitude, and he's not one of these dudes that slides. The other thing I like about Jaxson Dart, and I'm sure that he likes this too, he has a great group of receivers. They're one of the top receiver rooms. That's a new saying by everybody now in college football. Receiver room, quarterback room. We used to just call it, you know, a group of receivers or receiver depth, whatever. The bottom line is he's got a bunch of dudes that can run and make plays when they get the ball in their hands. And I like that for Jaxson Dart, and Jaxson Dart likes that for Jaxson Dart. And then the last thing that I like about Dart's game is his head coach, Lane Kiffin. Kiffin brings a lot to the table in regards to Jaxson Dart's game. Okay, we'll start with his scheme. He runs a QB-friendly offense. Okay, he spreads it out. He's got easy reads for his quarterback. He's got route concepts where receivers are running open and really open a lot of times. He really puts the pressure on the defense by spreading them out sideline to sideline with formations and then stretching them vertically with routes. He has a really good, strong run game, okay? For a team that throws the ball as well as Ole Miss does, at the end of the day, I think Lane Kiffin would rather run it up your ass than throw it all over the yard, okay? And part of that run game for him is involved with his QB running it. And so every quarterback that's played for Kiffin has done this, has ran the ball and been a dual threat guy where they were able to rack up big numbers for total offense. And so you're going to see him run a lot of QB draws and a lot of zone read where Dart pulls the ball and goes. He's not afraid to run his quarterback. Now, when I coached, this is just a philosophy thing. When I coached, I told my quarterbacks, first of all, in the run game, they weren't running it. Okay, we were giving the ball to our back and he was running it, or we throw screens out there on the perimeter, which is just an extension of your run game. So if the quarterback had to run the ball because he was flushed out of the pocket, he was sliding, wasn't taking any hits. And this is the reason why. And every coach can attest to this. When your QB runs the ball, he's one hit away from your number 2 quarterback being your starter. And that changes your season dramatically. Lane Kiffin doesn't feel that way about his QBs. And as we said, that fits perfectly with Jaxson Dart's skill set. Okay, so we've got the pass game with Kiffin. We've got the run game with Jaxson Dart pulling it, QB draws. We've also got RPOs, which, you know, those are easy completions. When you're selling the run and you get those inside linebackers to step up and you're able to throw those little benders in behind them or those crossing routes in behind those linebackers in the box, those are easy completions for Dart. The other thing is Kiffin and Dart are, I think, kindred spirits. They both operate with supreme confidence and swagger. In fact, Lane Kiffin is Steve Spurrier 2.0, all the way down to his visor that he wears. And just like Spurrier, Lane Kiffin gets under the skin of his opponents more than any other coach in college football, and he loves doing it. Okay? He's not afraid to get on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. He's not afraid to get on social media and talk shit to the other team, to the other head coach. He'll say stuff to the media that's little jabs at his opponent, and he likes doing it. It's psychological warfare, and he knows what he's doing, and he's really, really good at it. And you take his confidence and swagger, and you mesh that with Dart's confidence and swagger, and those guys are fun to watch. Okay, so as we wrap this, it's clear to see why Jaxson Dart is a Heisman Trophy favorite this year in 2024. But he has to stay healthy, and Ole Miss has to be in the title hunt at the end of the year. Dart's skills, his passion, and Lane Kiffin's scheme put him squarely in the spotlight as one of college football's elite quarterbacks for 2024. What do you think about Jaxson Dart's chances for winning the Heisman Trophy? Let me know in the comments down below, and hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. So this has been QB Unfiltered, and remember, always throw the ball short to guys who can score. See ya.